Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video in the lull that is Dragon Ball Super competitive play right now, and I guess the lull that is pretty much the world. One thing we can all look forward to is new cards. So today we're going over the new cards from expansion set 11 and 12, the Unison stuff. So pretty cool here. This is gonna be my first look at the cards. I have not read any of the effects before going into this video, so we're gonna get my first opinions on them, my first reactions. If you guys know combos after reading them and figure things out, definitely drop it in the comments below. Let's use that as like a community resource so everyone can kind of see what the best usage of these cards are. I might not get them off the first rip. Again, this is the first time I'm seeing these cards, so here we go. We'll go with it. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you miss a video. If you want to help the channel out, there are many free ways to do that in this trying time. You can like the video, share it, maybe watch an ad, and then you can also pre-order any of the cards you see in today's video using my link to TCG Player or Beer Collectibles down in the description. That being said, we're getting into this. So the first card of expansion 11, we have the leader, the Vegeta leader. We read it before. Just going over it quickly. It does awaken once you have the Unison card in play. The two specified cost red. Otherwise, it's at 4 or less life. When this card's power is decreased, it gains dual attack for the turn. And when you attack, draw a card once per turn. The Unison card pretty much pairs perfectly with that. Whenever your leader loses power, it gains 10,000. And that's not a once per turn auto. Like, one of the things I thought about was, remember how powerful Yellow Starter Baby used to be? They're all about negging your leader's power. So to think about that, this is not a once per turn auto. So every time they -5 your leader, it gets +10 for the turn, which is pretty funny to think about. It's like a direct counter to that deck. Not that that deck is really doing too much right now, but it is like a direct counter. But anyways, you can either give +1 markers to take up to 1 life, and then you can make your leader card get -5, and you can -2 markers, which is actually a very cheap cost for how powerful this effect is. You give your leader -5 again, and you're able to look at your opponent's hand, kill any multicolor battle card, or kill a battle card with 10,000 or less power. So just a quick recap of what those cards do. We've seen them before. Now we're getting into the new stuff. Whis Destruction Conductor. Permanent. If your leader card is a red Vegeta card, reduce energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. So there are a few red Vegetas. Obviously, this is meant to work directly with the one that is in this expansion, but keep in mind there are a few other ones. Off the top of my head, the only one I can think of is the Majin Vegeta, so we'll see if this does anything for that. Auto, when you play this card, choose one of the following effects, and again, it is a 1-drop in Vegeta. Look up 5 cards at the top of your deck, choose a 1 red Unison card with a specified cost of 2 or up to 1 red Universe 7 card with energy cost of 4 or less among them, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Okay, that's a mouthful. So you either get to search for a red Unison, which as of right now, the only card is the Gotenks, or any red U7 with energy cost 4 or less. So you get to choose either of those from the top 5. The other effect is choose one of your leader cards and gets -5,000 power for the turn, and this card gets +5,000 power for the turn. Interesting. So if you have the Gotenks on the field already, so if you cast this on like turn 3 for 1 energy, you get the +10k to your leader because you're giving it -5, and this becomes a relevant threat, I guess, if your opponent's leader is unawakened. So kind of interesting, kind of weird. I think the search ability is going to be far more useful than this ability, but I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below about this one. This one's a weird one. Good for searching, but not so great for the other effect. 3-drop Beerus Wrath of the Gods, 15k critical. We definitely seen a 3-drop 15k crit before. Unique. Only 1 copy of this card can be played in your battle area. Okay, so we've seen effects like this before. We've seen permanent skills that say this card you can only control 1 copy of this card in your battle area. They basically went and created a keyword for that. That's pretty interesting. So that basically signifies you only control 1 of this card. That's actually reminiscent of the Naruto CCG, which I believe every ninja for the most part was unique. Anyways, the auto is pay a red. If your leader card is a red Vegeta card at the end of the battle in which you combo with this card from your hand, play this card in rest mode. Interesting, really interesting. Okay, so it's a 0-5k combo, but it's a combo into play just like Gohan, Raging Spirit Gohan, and Double Shot Vegeta were back in the day. I mean, they still exist, but no one really plays them anymore. So this is a combo into play. Only works if your leaders are red Vegeta, but it's a 0-5k combo. So you basically can choose to pay an energy if you want to get the combo into play. It's not like a forced combo into play where it's always a 1-10k. So that's pretty interesting, and it comes in rest mode. It's 15k, so early in the game, depending on what matchup you're playing against, it's hard to clear, and it's a 15k crit. So this is a really cool card, especially for red Vegetas. I mean, people have been asking for Vegeta support for a long time, and these cards are all Vegeta cards, so this is pretty cool. I like this card a lot. Android 17 High Alert, 2-drop 10k, and an important thing to note too, these are all U7 cards, so that is pretty important to note. 2-drop 10k, Android 17 on High Alert, blocker, activate main if you have a red Unison card with a specified cost of 2 in play and you have no battle cards in your battle area, or in play rather. Play this card from your hand. Auto, at the end of your turn, if your leader card's power is currently being decreased or decreased, switch card to active mode. Okay, so I guess you get another free 10k attacker, which again is relevant when your opponent's leader is unawakened. And then if your leader has its power modified, you get to get your blocker back in active mode. So these are cool ways that Bandai is actually getting blockers to be somewhat more relevant again. It's been a little while since we've seen some relevant blockers, so pretty cool to see that kind of being worthwhile. Free play, and then you get to restand it. Frieza, Fairweather Fiend, 4-drop, 20k, double strike, unique once again. Auto, pay 2 red. If your leader card is red and you have a red Unison card with a specified cost of 2 in play, at the end of a battle in which you combo with this card from your hand, play this card. Okay, so red has gotten a Raiders Warcry that is again optional, so it's not a 2-cost combo off the rip. Auto, once per turn, when your opponent activates a counter skill, choose up to one of the battle cards, ignoring barrier, and gets minus 30,000 power for the turn. Okay, so a 2-drop 20k that punishes your opponent for using counters. This is something that we've been asking for a long time, ways to deal with counterplay format. This is pretty cool because it ignores barrier, basically removes anything in the game outside of like secret rares, for example. Removes really funny things like also like Gogeta 7, the Super 17 successor 9-drop. So every card I've seen so far, pretty good. Now we have an extra card, Omen of Awakening, 2-drop red counterplay. If your leader card is red and you choose one card in your life and place in your drop area, if the battle card is being played is 20,000 power or less, it's placed in its owner's drop area instead of being played. Okay, so if I'm reading this right, it is basically Denial of Hope with an additional cost. So you have to crit yourself a life, and then if the 20k power or less, place in a drop area instead of being played. Yeah, so this is basically Denial of Hope with additional cost, but as a permanent. So let's read what the permanent says. If you have a red Unison card with a specified cost of 2 in play, reduce energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. Okay, so basically it's meant to be used with the Unison card. If you do use it with the Unison card, it becomes a 1-drop Denial of Hope, but it does cost you a life. That's pretty interesting to note. So there's definitely a downside to this card. It is very good if you're using Unison cards. It's very good early on because you don't necessarily care if you're critting life early on, but this can hurt you a bit more in the later part of the game. But just like Denial of Hope, I imagine people will only play like 2 copies of this card max. Let's go over to the expansion 12 stuff. Expansion 11, I think it's pretty strong. Some pretty good generic red stuff. Not that we needed more of it because red already has great generic cards. But anyways, now we're getting to the yellow stuff, which I'm sure will have more great generic yellow stuff. So key thing about Topo is when you have the Unison card in play, both players can only play 1 battle card per turn. So that is a double-edged sword. It does hurt both players. The Vegeta does punish your opponent for playing things greater than their energy, so that is pretty powerful. If your opponent's playing a deck like Piccolo, playing a deck like U7 Invoker, a lot of their boss monsters are going to be nullified from these effects, which is really powerful. And then the Vegeta here has a game-ending ability, -3 markers, give it +5, tap one of your opponent's energy, and it gains double strike and dual attack for the turn. Lots of good Vegeta stuff in these expansions. Belmod, the Self-Indulgent, 4-drop 20k counterplay. The card being played is played in rest mode, then play this card. Counter attack, negate the attack, play this card, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards and negate its skills for the turn. Lots of flexibility here with this card. Permanent during your opponent's turn. If you have a yellow Unison card with a specified cost of 2 in play, reduce energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. Okay, so again, playing with the Unison card, you get a 2-drop either Crusher Ball or a 2-drop Kaba the Revoker kind of thing, where you get to negate an attack, then negate a skill, but that's tied to yellow leaders. This isn't necessarily tied to yellow leaders, but it is tied to the yellow Unison card, which is kind of interesting. Good card nonetheless. Margarita, Tutor of Power, 3-drop 19k barrier permanent. If you have a yellow Unison card with a specified cost of 2 in play, reduce energy cost of this card in your hand by 1, so it'll become a 2-drop 19k with barrier. When this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, and it can't switch to active mode till the start of your next turn. We see these lock them down effects pretty often. They're never really that stellar. It's okay. It's not great, not terrible. I would rate this card somewhere kind of like down the middle of the road. Displo, the Flash Striker, 2-drop 15k critical. Always like critical. Activate main if you have a yellow Unison card in play with a specified cost of 2 and you have no battle cards in play, play this card from your hand. Okay, big fan of this card. Free 2-drop 15k crit if you have a Unison card in play. Big fan. This is really, really good. Just free value town. Casserole, the Slash Striker, 1-drop. We have a 4k. Auto, when you play this card, look up at 5 cards top of your deck. Choose one yellow Unison card with a specified cost of 2 or up to one yellow Universe 11 card with energy cost of 4 or less among them. Add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. This is a good card to play for free off of the Jiren leader because it is just a free search and also gets you a Unison card. Of course, you can also play your Unison card in Jiren if you wanted to because it is yellow. Even if you're playing like a green-yellow build, you can always just like, charge your multi turn 1, charge your check land turn 2 or charge a regular energy turn 2, and then you can continue to do your Unison card things. Auto, when this card is switched to rest mode by one of your skills, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards when it costs 4 or less, and switch it to rest mode. So when the Vegeta, basically the Unison Vegeta, switches to rest mode, you get an additional effect, which is pretty good. Spirit Fist, 1-drop counterplay. When the battle card is played, you may choose it and switch it to rest mode. Interesting. So we have a giant ball that doesn't draw a card. Let's see what the Activate Battle does. If your leader card is a U11 card and it's your turn, choose one of your leader cards or up to one of your yellow Unison cards at a specified cost of 2, and it gets plus 10,000 power for the turn. So this makes the Vegeta more of a game-ending threat when you do give it the double strike dual attack. But I don't know, this card is like a weirder giant ball, not so great. I mean, the plus 10k is cool, I guess. I don't think this card's gonna see too much play because of its, you know, lesser usability than giant ball. But that's just my opinion. So guys, I definitely want to know what you think in the comments below about these cards. Let me know what you think about them. I think they're all really powerful, except for, you know, 1 or 2 here and there. I'm a big fan of Beerus. I'm a big fan of the Dispo. I think these cards are really powerful. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.